Champion City Podcast, where we tell real stories from grinders, hustlers, and everybody on the come up. If you're still in the trenches or you still trying to get that bag, this for you. This your blueprint, your motivation, your platform. Let's go. What up, everybody, man? Thanks for tapping in. It's I was confused on my days, bro, because I be like working so much. So I was gonna say Saturday night, but it's Friday and shit.
Oh,
right?
damn, I thought it was Thursday.
There you go. So we're on the same page,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah, today, man, we got Mr. Shadow, man. What's up?
What up, my boy?
Yeah. OG in the music game, man. What you say about it? Like 30 years or so?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that's what's up. You feel tired yet or not really?
I still got some more in me.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, folks like you, bro, I think like when you stop working, it's like not good, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there has to be a reason.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, but I appreciate you coming down from San Diego specifically,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
downtown type or
Nah, more towards the North County.
oh, okay, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
No, but I was born and raised in downtown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what's up, man. You know, it's trippy because I grew up hearing your music, like
That's
you, Capone, Little One, like Night Owl, like a bunch, bro. You know.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So it's dope to have you here, dude. I'm a
No,
bit. I don't want
thanks.
to be like fanned out and shit.
Nah, you're
you know,
good.
but-
Thanks for having me, bro. No, it's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
good, man.
But nah, you know, so yeah, let's talk a little bit about like when you first started doing music, bro. Like 30 years ago, like what were you doing before music and shit?
Slinging drugs.
All right, yeah. Let's fast forward then.
I'll
and
be
shit,
straight.
yeah.
I'll be straight up. You know, I mean,
Yeah, no,
but
I
that's
get
what
you.
it was. You know what I mean? I mean that's what it was, and I was just doing my thing at a young age. And
Yeah, trying to get paid and stuff, right? You know?
Yeah, and then all it took was one song, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's what's up, man. So when you were like doing your thing out there in the streets and all that, like, what was the one thing that inspired you to start getting into music, man? Like, what? I mean, everybody always listens to music, right? But
I gotta say, my boy Night, rest in peace, had a big influence in me because I used to see him do the neighborhood raps, you know, from my neighborhood, and I just like watching him do it, and the way he mentioned the homies' names and mentioned certain parts of the neighborhood, and just hearing him play it afterwards, I was like, man, that's pretty dope that you can express and tell a story of how the homies were and what we were doing and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But he had a big influence in me.
Oh, that's what's up. So he was doing music before you in a
Oh
way?
yeah, he was
Yeah.
doing the neighborhood raps when I was a little kid, man. When I was like
Mm.
5, 6, 7 years old, he was making already neighborhood raps with the homie from the neighborhood,
Oh, that's what's up.
DJ Sandman. And then yeah, then he hooked up with the producer, started recording, and put out his first records. I believe it was '92.
Oh, 92. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so he's
Yeah, yeah,
been
for
doing it
sure.
for a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. And then like so when he inspired you, bro, you doing this music, like you knew you had a talent for music already, or was it more like I could do this
No,
too?
I didn't know, that I had you know the skill to write a song or nothing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that it comes from my dad's side of the family and all my uncles on his side. Um, every time we would go to Guadalajara, they all get in a circle, start drinking, and start playing the guitar and accordion and singing. And
Yeah.
I would watch my dad at home play the guitar and the accordion just for fun. I would just sit there on the couch and listen to him play.
Mm-hmm.
And when I believe I was 8 or 9 years old, he took me to Disneyland by myself because my mom had to work. And when I got back, I wrote a song about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And
yeah.
it was a rap. It was a rap about it.
Yeah.
And
Spanish or English?
it was in English.
Yeah.
It was in English.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, so I think that sparked a little something. And then once I got older, started in juvenile hall, started writing rhymes. And then
Mm-hmm.
later on, I took it serious when I was 15, 16. And then finally, when I was 16 and like 16 and a half, I recorded Till I Die.
All right.
And
That was inside a studio or like is
so I told the producer, which is Steve Vicious, shout out to Steve Vicious. I told him I wanted to flip more bounce to the ounce like I've never done it before.
mm-hmm.
And he gave me the beat to Till I Die. So I took that home and I wrote it. It took me like 2 days. And before that, I never wrote like something that I can record and feel comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? So
You're like having fun.
yeah, I was just
basically,
having
right?
fun,
Yeah, yeah.
And then finally, when I got that beat, I wrote it and went to the studio on a Sunday and I recorded it, and that was it.
Oh man. And at this time, dude, like, because music's expensive to make, right?
Yeah.
Like when you start talking producers, engineering and all that, right? Especially even, I mean, right now it's lower, but it's still expensive, right?
Right.
Depending on the quality level that you want, basically, right? Like back then, how expensive was it? Because there wasn't a lot of studios.
It
going
wasn't
on, right?
expensive at
No?
all. Back then it was because 250 was 250, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So,
That's it.
so it was $250 for an exclusive beat from my boy Steve Vicious.
Okay.
And that included studio time.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah,
So, he was hooking it up. He was giving us a cool little deal, and he ended up producing, my first 2 albums and then some on my third. But yeah, man, I mean, just went in there and paid him for the beats, recorded them.
yeah, yeah. And then how do you like? And then because for educational purposes too, like the cover art for yourself, like you're like 16, right? So like, how do you figure all this stuff out? Like,
We just, the homie Hitman, who has a lot to do with me recording and going to places, like, that's my big homie. And
yeah.
and I would ask him, he would ask me, we like, what are we doing for the cover? Like, oh, it'd be sick to go squat right there in the neighborhood park, you know what I'm saying? And just take that picture. And yeah, we bought one of those cameras, the little cardboard box
The
ones that you,
disposable ones.
yeah,
is
the
it? Yeah,
disposable
yeah.
ones. I mean, that's what we took the cover picture
Yeah.
with, and
And this is mind you before streaming and all that,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Right.
there was-
You know,
there-
this is like you had to make a CD.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So we took like 5 or 6 pictures, we developed them, and then we're like, okay, this is gonna be the cover. This is gonna be the one on the back where all the titles are. This one's gonna be when you open it. That's gonna be the one on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all new to us, bro.
Yeah.
So we didn't know it was gonna become what it is. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying?
crazy, isn't
Yeah.
it, man? You were
Yeah.
just having fun, like, well, I'm gonna
That's
record a
it, bro.
song,
Yeah.
And then like, so when you're in the studio, I imagine it was like a professional studio, right? Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like a house how some people.
Well, no,
have
no,
it
no,
right
no,
now,
no, no. It was It was a bedroom. It
Oh,
was a
okay.
bed- It was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bedroom. And my boy Steve is still in that same apartment, bro. And
Oh, that's what's that.
but it's like it really, that's the epitome of it doesn't matter what you have, is what you
Yeah.
do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, I get my stuff mixed and mastered by him, bro.
Oh, that's what's up.
Nobody can touch his sound
Yeah,
except my
yeah.
boy Wise.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Oh, that's good.
But he's my go-to guy in San Diego, bro. And not only mine, Little Ones and everybody else's, bro, because his sound is like
You
dope.
could tell.
Yeah, you can
yeah.
tell that it
Yeah.
was it's done the right way.
Oh, that's good, man. You know, and it like what I've noticed too is really hard to find people. Like everybody's trying to make a quick buck, right?
Yeah.
You know, not everybody. I want to take that back, but a majority of folks,
Right.
right? Especially right now, like, hey, I'll mix and master it for 30. But you can
Oh.
tell why, right? You get
Yeah.
me? Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like somebody that charged 150, right? Is like, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that sound and shit, you know? And it was hard for me to tell the difference at first. So
Right.
for you growing up, like starting to do your song, you didn't know in the beginning, right? You just
Nah.
like, damn, this shit is recorded. It's on a CD right now, you know?
Yeah.
And then like, what was your first run on CDs, man? Like you were like, I'm gonna make 200 or
No, I think the first run, I believe, was 2,000 copies.
mm-hmm.
Then we went back and did 5,000. And then, just as money came in, we kept on going and going and duplicating. And by the time we knew it, we were like at 50,000 out the trunk.
Oh man, that's dope.
And that's just out the trunk, because that's when it got picked up by a label, and we stopped selling it out the trunk. Now every time they pressed it, they would give us X amount of CDs. But they punched a hole in them, so we wouldn't sell it at stores, because back then it was about SoundScan.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people who don't know, a SoundScan, it basically registers every single sale that gets sold in a music store, which don't exist anymore. But you had your warehouse, you had your Tower Records, you had your FYE.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So the
Yeah,
label would,
when you went to Sam Goodies and shit.
yeah, Sam Goodies,
Yeah.
and it was dope doing autograph signings there and everything. But the label would punch holes on the scan bar so that they would control and see how many actually got bought at stores.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, and like, for example, just like digress a little bit on it. Is it harder now for you, music now, like the distribution of music now than it is before? Because I mean, you still have a label, right? But you do independent stuff, or
So it's easier, but it's harder to make money.
yeah,
Because, I mean, just this year they passed a law where it gives us a penny per stream.
from the Spotify and
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
but it hasn't kicked in yet. It's still at like 0.007 of a
Mhm.
penny,
yeah,
which is like pennies on pennies. You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And I mean, people like Snoop and everybody else, like Taylor Swift, they do billions of streams, right? And they only get like 40 grand.
Yeah, I remember Snoop Dogg saying
He
that
took his
on
whole
an interview.
catalog, bro. He took his so did Taylor and a lot of other people that just we're making the rich get richer, bro, and they don't want to pay. So
Yeah, because those subscriptions are definitely like start at $9.99 and stuff, man. You know,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
imagine, and they have like millions of users.
yeah,
But so it's harder to get more paid this time. But because before you knew if you sold 100,000 CDs or whatever, you knew that you were getting 35 cents or whatever.
yeah,
was
whatever it
before,
was
right?
that you worked out, with
Uh-huh.
whatever distributor or label you were with.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, so now being in the game for 30 years, I have royalties that come in. You know, what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
But
the old.
there's some that are monthly. There's some that are like every 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, to this day, right now, my manager's getting everything in order because I have people that are making money off me, off YouTube, Vivo channel, and all kinds of crazy stuff
Yeah.
that I didn't even know, and I'm losing on a lot of money. But
Yeah.
thankfully, my manager's getting that taken care of, and I'll be better.
Yeah, and that's what was a trip because when YouTube popped out, like I know a couple homies that were doing music and they got like, let's say 1 million streams on it, right? But it wasn't even their YouTube channel that was on it,
Yeah.
right? Like somebody else had the file or somehow got it.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. So they
you
make
know?
channels with our names, bro. Like
Yeah.
for example, I'll give you one example. I have this Vivo channel that has 2 of my videos, bro, and there's like 25 million views combined.
Mhm.
And that's some bread, bro.
Yeah.
That's bread. You know what I mean? So
It's like the new age bootlegging. Yeah,
yeah, and I mean, I'm not too savvy with the internet, so for me to find all those different
yeah,
channels that are getting revenue from my stuff, it'd be hard. But now there's companies that go out and audit and do that. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going through right now.
Oh, that's dope, man. Yeah, yeah. And it's good to, like you said, surround yourself with a team that can school you on that, or not only
Yeah.
school you, but take care of that business for you
Yeah,
as
no,
well too, right?
absolutely,
Because
bro.
at the end of it, it's like money on the table, right? You
Yeah,
know?
so it's been happening since, I don't know, 15, 20 years now. You know what I mean? So just imagine there's people living off my stuff.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that it's getting fixed and all that is gonna get redirected to me.
Yeah, yeah, that's dope, man, for
Yeah.
sure. And then it's kind of like I know when, and shout out to Speedy Inc., Boss Lady, for tapping us in or plugging
Yeah,
us in
yeah,
together,
absolutely.
man. You
Shout
know,
out to her.
the good people out there in
Yeah.
Utah. When she was like, "Hey, reach out to Shadow," I was like, "Can you send me his IG?" And she's like, "Just find it." And I'm like, "Nah, because there's like 20 shadows or something out there, right? I'm gonna reach
Yeah.
out to the fake one or something, you know." And
Yeah,
then,
and we try to shut them down as much as we can,
Yeah.
but they pop up every day, bro. So it's hard
Yeah.
to keep up. But luckily I have my verification badge,
yeah.
and people know that it's me.
Oh,
So,
that's what's up.
yeah.
And then taking it back to when you did your first CD, bro. So now people are fucking with the music, right? You sold 2,000, you're going to get 5,000 more, and then they're gone. Like, how did that make you feel as an? I mean, you're an artist at this point, right? Even if you don't know it, right? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, to me and my boy Hitman, it was just like wow, like
Mm-hmm.
here we are from the neighborhood, didn't know nothing about the music game, and here we are popping out the trunk, going to different shows, and I was doing shows with one song until I died, bro. And
Oh man.
I went on tour with Lighter Shade of Brown. I was opening up for them with one song, and I didn't know what I was doing, bro. The first show they threw me at was in TJ at Club Vibe. I opened up for them, and the club was packed. It was packed, bro, and
Mm-hmm.
I was nervous. I was scared. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just looking out, and everybody's staring at me like, "Who's this fool?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then once the music kicked in, and they started vibing to it, I was, you know what? I can't make a fool of myself. So
Yeah,
I went through.
I'm
with it.
already here. That's half the battle,
Yeah,
right? You know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie. Sweaty palms and all, bro. I performed the song, and everybody was feeling it. So
Mm-hmm. That's dope,
Yeah,
bro.
that
You
was,
know, that must have felt like fuck, right? Like, man,
Yeah.
especially being on the stage and people vibing.
back then it was a different kind of high, bro.
Yeah.
It was crazy just having people, and then afterwards, once the music got out and
Mhm.
people started, supporting the music, it's cool to hear people like, hey, do this song or singing my songs. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
It's cool.
definitely.
Yeah.
And then, like, since you say you had one song, right? Did you feel shy that you only had one song, and you were like, did you just go out and perform one song? And I got a reason why I'm asking, but
Yeah. So I was more curious to find out if I could get more people to follow me on the next city, the next tour, the next show I was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I was getting such good feedback from that song that it gave me confidence.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't shy or embarrassed or nothing. I was like, man, I should have more songs, but this is what I have now,
Yeah.
and everybody likes it, so I just went with it.
Oh,
Turned
that's
out cool.
That's cool. And the reason I was asking was because there's a lot of artists right now, like, how I just threw this show in Oxnard with my homie Trench Kids, right?
Right.
There was artists that are barely starting. They're like, I only got one song or two songs.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, just go out there and rock the stage, bro. You
That's
get me?
it,
Like,
man.
if you don't have it's 10-minute slots we were doing, right?
Yeah.
I was like, if you got 3 minutes, go and make it the best 3 minutes you got. That's how I would think,
And now knowing what I know, like you
Mhm.
can make one song 10 minutes because you could, mess with the crowd before the song, during the song, after the
Exactly,
song.
right?
You know what I'm saying? So you'll be up there for 15 minutes and not even know it.
Yeah.
So
And that's cool because, like you said, now that you know, right? Because it's not the same as going into the studio and recording the song when you're on stage, right? It's like
Nah.
performing is like performing, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's a different energy that you need. I would,
yeah, definitely, bro. It's definitely different. You know what I mean? But going to the studio is one thing, but performing it, it's a whole other thing.
yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's what's up. And like, about how many shows you done already, man?
Oh, I don't even know.
you
bro.
don't, you lost count.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I have my passport's full of stamps when I started going out of the country.
Yeah.
But I've been to Mexico a lot. I've been, to almost every state in the states except Alaska. I haven't been to Alaska.
Yeah, they probably don't have a stage in Alaska, though.
I don't-
Otherwise, you would be there too.
I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think I've done a show in. Let me see. I pretty much covered them all except like
For sure, all the states, like you were saying, right?
yeah, like Yeah, because I've been to, East Coast, Florida,
Mm-hmm.
New York, New Jersey,
Mm.
Louisiana, down south, Texas, Midwest. Pretty much covered all of them, bro. What I mean, there's a couple of them that I haven't. I just can't remember which one. But
Yeah, yeah.
I've been to North Carolina, South Carolina. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I think I haven't been to Buffalo, but that's New York. So I've been to New
Yeah,
York.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? But
Because
yeah,
every state has their major cities, basically, right? That
yeah,
you're
like
touched down in
sometimes
and shit,
sometimes they'll take me to Oregon and it'll be like 5 cities. That they're all like 5 hours away from each other or 3 hours away from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Washington State, same thing. You got Oregon, you got Salem, you got Portland, you got
Yeah.
and then you got Washington State, you got Seattle, Yakima, Tacoma.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So yeah,
Because you were doing tours and all that as well, too, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And like, so going from selling your 50,000 CDs and getting your song picked up from a label to performing, in between that, dude, like, how did you feel like you got to get back in the studio and do a second song, right? Like,
Yeah, so that one song was a make it or break it moment for me.
Okay.
Like I said, I recorded on a Sunday, bro, and you know, I've told this story before, but it's like that's my beginning, so I'm proud of it.
yeah.
And so I went to the studio on a Sunday, bro, and me and my boy Hitman were so excited, and we liked the song so much that we decided to go to the radio station on a Sunday, not knowing it was gonna be closed, like you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So we go and the DJ that opened the door said, "Nah, you got to come back Monday through Friday. I could get fired." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
We're driving out, and this lady's driving in. We get off. We knock on the door. She gives me 1 minute of her time. She almost told me to kick rocks too, but then I was like, man, I was almost begging. I was like, please, man, like, look, I don't know nothing about the music game, and I get it. Back then I was shaved heads, 44 Dickies,
Yeah.
and I was in a tank top, and I wouldn't open the door for me either.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? But something tugged at her, and she's like, okay, look, I'll be right back. And she came back. She said, look, I'm gonna give you 1 minute of my time in my office. We went in there, we played it, and that's all it took, bro. She put me on the radio right there and then. She said, you got 2 minutes to call whoever you know, whoever you want to call. Tell them you're gonna be on the radio after commercial. She introduced me to the DJ who rejected me.
Mm-hmm.
She said, hey, play him after commercials, introduce him. And she was like, what do they call you? What's your stage now? I was like, and all I knew was my neighborhood name,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I was like, well, they call me Shadow. And she goes, okay, well, introduce him as San Diego's very own Mr. Shadow. She's the one that put the Mr.
Oh,
on
that's
it.
what's up. Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. So we ran with it, bro. And then she's the one that put me on tour with Lotta Shade of Brown,
Oh, okay.
And we said, look, it's either we're gonna run with it or we're just gonna do this one song and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But just from that, we recorded a whole album.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that is a trip, man. It's almost like by chance, bro.
Yeah.
You get me? That like you're
That's what it was,
and I don't want to like nutshell it like that, but it's almost by
Nah,
chance that
I
your
mean,
career like took off like
I
that,
was a little
right?
kid, bro, and
Yeah.
and from that, I met people that I met along the way. Like
Yeah.
the very first show that I performed at, which was that club in TJ. Little Rob was there to see Lotta Shade of Brown perform.
Mm-hmm.
I opened up for Lotta Shade of Brown. When I got off stage, Rob gave me his props. He was like,
Mhm.
"Hey, good shit. I'm
Yeah.
feeling your song." And then we left it at that. And then later on down the line, I got introduced, and we met up again through my boy Little One.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, and everything just
Yeah. And then let's touch a little bit on those relationships, bro. Like how did you meet the rest like of different artists that you started working with, like as a, I don't want to say a group, but together, right? You
yeah.
know?
I mean, I met Uno through my boy Hitman and Night Owl
Mm-hmm.
because his neighborhood and my neighborhood used to party together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then Night Owl is my big bro from my neighborhood. Rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met Rob through Uno, and then I would go with Night Out to LA and met a bunch of different people, like Johnny J, rest in peace, who produced on Tupac's album. I would go to just different places with them, and I would meet a lot of people. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And yeah, that's how it happened, bro.
And you guys
Just-
kind of linked up, clicked up, and we're like, damn, we
Yeah.
can make some bangers and shit, you know?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, man. And I always feed off energy, bro. And if I click with somebody, then then we on. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you say was some of the biggest challenges you had, bro? Like, obviously, you were persistent, so that it worked out for you, right? Like, you didn't take that no right there, and you went back, you knocked on the lady, right?
Yeah.
You know, so persistency is great, right? But like, what are some of the challenges you had come across, bro? Like when you were young, trying to do this music thing, and this is after you did your first CD and things like that, you know?
Challenges, I mean, everything was new to me, so we had to learn it. I didn't want to get taken under anybody's wing, so I didn't
Mm-hmm.
go to Night Owl. You know, being that Hitman is Night Owl's uncle,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like blood.
Oh, all right.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But we didn't say, you know what, let's go to Night Owl and let him help us,
Yeah.
you know, or to Uno or to anybody. Like me and my boy Hitman and the homie Whisper from my neighborhood, like, you know what, we're just gonna do it on our own. And that's the way we went about it, bro. So we were learning as we were going.
Yeah.
So everything was kind of of a challenge because we didn't know such and such who did this and this person that did that, and you know, and then people would guide us in the direction that we needed to go, and you know,
So you would hear things basically like you were on stage and they'll be like, "Oh, you should do the show over here, or you should link up with this guy right here and
yeah,
do this," and you were like, "Fuck it," just kind of like moving around,
yeah,
trying to put
pretty,
all the pieces together and
that's
shit.
it, bro. You know, and thankfully, you know, my music opened a lot of doors for me. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And people would, after the first album, people wanted me somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would meet other people, and just it got done, bro. And
Yeah.
I was very blessed and fortunate to be able to release my music and send it to the masses, because after that we would meet distributors who would buy thousands from us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Violet Brown from the Warehouse. She would buy thousands of my CDs and put them in all the warehouses across the nation.
Man, that's
You know,
dope.
and
Yeah.
then there
Yeah.
was another distributor in Arizona who would sell to other big stores and swap meets, and I
Yeah.
mean, it was just crazy, man. It was dope though. It was fun. It was a learning experience, and yeah, man.
Yeah. That's when I first seen the music. Was I used to go to like Sam Goody's and stuff, right? I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
But I ran into the music like in the swap meet, dude.
Right.
There was like this dude, and it's probably every swap meet has this dude, right?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah, yeah,
they had
yeah.
all the CDs laid out, and people would go and be like, "Oh, who's this guy? Oh, who's this
Yeah.
guy?" Or he would be bumping a song right there
Yeah.
at the post, you know?
Yeah, that happened a lot. People would
Yeah.
go and be like, "Who's bumping right now?
Yeah.
You know, who are people buying?"
Yeah.
And you know, they were always numbered. You know, like this is number 1 to number 5, and even in the Warehouse Music. You know, one time me and Nidal did an autograph signing at the Warehouse Music in Escondido,
Mm-hmm.
and out there in San Diego, and we walk into the store, and the reason the manager called us for an in-store was because it was the Dog Pound, and then us, and then Dre or somebody else. So to be number 2 between those guys, I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
I was like, man, it was
Yeah.
crazy, bro. And I even took a picture of it, you know, because I mean, to me that's a big achievement, because I mean, I was listening to these dudes.
Yeah.
So yeah, man,
That's a trip,
it's
man, you
crazy.
know? Yeah, definitely crazy. Like dreamy, you know? Like
Yeah,
in a way, like
absolutely,
you're
bro.
just kind of like,
And
this
even
shit's
when I
not for
started
real.
meeting people, bro, like when I met the Corrupts and the, you know,
Cocaine and stuff.
yeah, man, it's crazy, because you know these are platinum artists, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, and I'm just me, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a trip because we always see um like superstars, right? You get me? And you think these people are like unreachable in a way, right?
Right.
And then when you meet them, like I meet you, you're like down to earth. You're like super quiet and shit, dude. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
we're like anybody else, bro.
Right,
We
yeah.
just tapped into the talent that God gave us, and we're no different, bro. I eat shit and sleep just like
yeah,
you.
yeah, right, yeah. That's right. Nah, definitely, yeah, dude. And so when you started getting deals to go like perform out the country, bro, like what's like the favorite out of the place country that you ran into and shit, or you went across?
I think Japan is definitely up there.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
big thing for Japan, right? Like for hip hop.
You know
and
what?
shit,
Right
Chicano?
now, Vietnam, Japan, China, South Korea.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of cities out there, bro, and in Europe, you know, Italy, Germany, Spain,
Yeah,
Argentina. I mean, it's big, bro. It's
yeah.
crazy big right now. You know, like I know my homie Sad Boy Locals out in Germany right now, I think, or Japan. I
In
forgot.
Japan, I saw something on
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
he's going to Amsterdam, or went to Amsterdam. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Amsterdam is dope. You know, Italy's dope.
It's
Yeah,
just crazy to go and get like a culture shock, huh?
Yeah,
right?
and
You know?
and it's even crazier when you're on stage, bro, and people that you can't communicate, like when they come up to you, you can't speak to each other,
Yeah,
but they're in front of the stage singing your songs word for word, English or Spanish. In
yeah.
Japan, that's crazy,
Yeah,
bro.
it is crazy, man.
You know,
You know?
and when I get off stage and they want an autograph or something or a picture, and all we can do is like, oh yeah, yeah, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like we,
yeah.
we can't communicate. So it's just, to me, that's amazing, because it's basically like recognition, and people that value my music so much and they hear it so much that they memorized it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's cool. I get it, because I listen to a lot of different, like I listen to reggae, and there's a song by Alpha Blondie. It's called Jerusalem, and it's in Hebrew, and I sing it word for
Oh
word.
man, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what it says, but
Yeah.
I sing it word for word.
Mhm.
I finally read it. You know, they translated it. I know what it
You know
means.
what it means now and
Yeah,
stuff.
but
Yeah.
and it's crazy, because now I see where and how they can relate to the song without even knowing what it says.
Sure.
You know
Like
what I
you
mean?
vibe to it. And then
Yeah.
music kind of speaks to you, right? Like in
Yeah.
a way, music, I always feel like that's why like I stopped saying, oh, that song sucks. Because to me it's like I'm just not feeling that one.
Right.
Right, you get me? But somebody else might, right? You
Yeah,
get
yeah,
me? You
you
know?
know, and
Yeah.
it's crazy you say that, because you know, this song, it's not for everybody, bro. Like the song that you connect with might, exactly what you're saying. It
Mhm.
might not connect, you know, with my bro over here, or the homies over there. You know what I mean? But it connects with you,
Yeah.
and maybe you relate to it,
Mhm.
because of something that you went through.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
and that's what it is, man. And there's people that come up to me and tell me like, oh, what's one of your favorite songs? I was like, I don't know. Oh, mine's Till I Die. And to me, I was 16, so not only my voice, but I just evolved so much that that's one of my least favorite songs.
That's your starting point. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, it holds a special place in my heart. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because that's what started everything.
Exactly.
But I'm like, I'm so far ahead of that, bro. Like,
Yeah. And it's trippy though because even though the internet wasn't around at that time, still people mess with that song.
yeah,
Right? Like you get me like that it's never gonna be erased from history now and
right.
shit, man.
To
You
this
get
day,
me?
is one of my top. I think
Streamed and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is trippy, man, you know? And that's the thing now that as you leave a legacy, or I don't want to say legacy because you still look young, bro.
Right.
Like you still got a lot of energy.
I
But
don't know about
as
young.
you're
I'm
adding to your legacy that you're
46.
gonna leave one day, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You're 46 and shit?
Yeah, I'll be
Oh.
46 in September.
Oh, that's what's up. September what?
6.
Oh man, I'm September 9 and
Oh,
shit.
there you
I'll be
go.
41 though, so I'm like right
Okay,
behind you and
there you
shit,
go.
man. You
There
know,
you go.
I still feel like I'm 16 though, until I
Yeah,
try
I
and run a
mean,
mile and shit.
yeah.
Then then I'm like, oh shit, you get me?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we're young at heart. You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
definitely.
But our bones are different.
Yeah, I always tell my wife. My wife always agrees with me too. She was like, "You act like you're 16." You
Yeah.
get me? So I'd be like, "Oh man, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
be me." You know.
Shoot.
But yeah, dude. And then it's a trick because I've been to China myself, but for different stuff. Like now, I'm not an artist or anything like that. But to me, one of the eerie feelings I had was being in a train station where I couldn't read anything.
Right.
Yeah, and this was in like Hangzhou, I think, or something like that. And I'm in a
Yeah.
train station trying to like buy a snack, and they got all these little like different type of snacks that I couldn't find
They're
nothing.
different out there, bro.
Yeah, real different, you know. And it's a trip because I went to these bars because I know some people that own some bars over there, and they do like music festivals and shit, you know,
Right.
but like pop, you know. And they would be bumping Ice Cube in that bar, dude, or Metallica and all that, and people
Yeah.
are like vibing to it and shit, or
Yeah.
like singing karaoke to it. And then
Yeah,
that's one
absolutely.
thing that I saw was like, damn, it's crazy how the like influence of somebody that came from like L.A. or something like that. You hear it all the way over here, and like
Yeah,
you know,
bro. Yeah, music has no barriers, no borders, bro. It's something amazing that you can click to a song, bro, with a song, and be on the other side of the planet, bro. And
yeah, it's crazy, right?
you know, and if you feel it, you feel it.
Yeah. And then like to school people a little bit or like to have people know how does something like that happen for you, bro, where music goes abroad, like overseas? Like how does that kind of work out for people?
Well, now it's a click of a button. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, anybody can, upload a song, and you can record it today, and tonight you can click a button and it'll be around the world.
Yeah, like on YouTube, right? But like
YouTube or
Mhm.
any other digital platform, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You can register a song and put it on Spotify, and it's it'll get played, and then it's just sometimes it just hits countries and cities you never even heard of. Like
Yeah.
I was showing my bro my Spotify,
Mm-hmm.
you know, analytic. It shows you this, you know, analytics of where you're played and how many plays and how many people. And there's countries and cities that I couldn't even pronounce.
Oh man. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and then, again, it's the internet, bro. One click of a button, and it's a downfall also because people can leak your music, bro, and then one click of a button, and it's around the world, and then the other person leaks it, and then you know, if you don't catch on to it, like the things I was talking to you about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
then you start losing money,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yeah, because the way that I see it right now is you could upload through a distributor, right? DistroKid, TuneCore,
Yeah,
or whatnot,
yeah.
right? And it mostly goes into the U.S. market and possibly like on your streams, right? Because people would have to have a VPN in China or something,
Yeah.
right? Because I think they have like their own distribution there, right? Like
Yeah.
Baidu or something like that, you know?
Yeah, there's so many different platforms, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
there's hundreds or maybe thousands of them.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, Deezer and you know, Apple and
yeah,
Spotify, Pandora. And, I mean, the list goes on, bro. But you know, there's people just sometimes people just take it upon themselves and upload your music. You know.
yeah. That's what I was gonna get to was like, so like somebody in China that's up on game on Mr. Shadow, right? Would be like, damn, he's gonna drop a new album. I'm gonna download this shit and I'm gonna upload it on whatever streaming they have over there, right?
Yeah,
You know?
bro. Like, look, I'm new to TikTok, bro. I
Mhm.
just barely. I think it's been like a month.
Yeah.
Um,
You doing the TikTok dances, man?
nah, nah. But there's people like there's one dude who plays my music till I die, being one of them,
Uh-huh.
and he gets millions and millions of views on it, bro.
Crazy.
And that's money that I'm losing out
Yeah.
on. You know, so
Mhm.
that's another thing that's getting fixed.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just one person. But there's multiple people doing that. So
Mhm.
you know, all those things add up, man, and
Yeah, and then-
it's there's pros and cons to it, bro. You
Yeah.
know? Especially if you're someone like myself that's you know that has a lot of material out there, 25 albums, and you know, and you could Google this. I'm the most featured Mexican rapper on the West Coast.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's also you know a good and a bad thing
Mhm.
because sometimes these people don't register the titles correctly and don't give me my publishing splits or
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so then my people got to go after them and be like, hey, well, you got to give him his publishing, you know.
Yeah.
So, and those are hundreds of features, bro. So,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, it's just
Yeah, a
it's
lot
a
of artists.
bittersweet situation, bro.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of artists don't still know about publishing, you know?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that
Mm.
that don't know that your publishing is a whole nother 3 paychecks,
Yeah.
you know. So, I mean,
How
but
did you learn that? Like, who taught you that stuff? dude?
when I think I learned it after like the third album or fourth album.
Mhm.
You know, which I wish I would have known that with my first album because
Right.
I didn't know that I could have got another big check for my publishing if they
Yeah.
wanted to buy into it or lease it or whatever for 2-3 years, you know, because
Mhm.
my publishing is my publishing. As an artist, it's mine 100%.
Yeah.
And if somebody wants to get paid off my royalties, because usually labels get paid off of sales,
Mhm.
you know, but if people want to get paid off my publishing, they have to negotiate it and
Mhm.
either lease it, buy into it, or whatever the case is. But yeah, man, if you know, there's a lot of youngsters that might not know about that, but you know, I would highly recommend to go register with one of the entities that collects your you know your publishing. ASCAP, I'm with ASCAP, but there's
Mhm.
BMI,
BMI, right? Yeah.
and there's other ones out there. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
I've been with ASCAP for a long time, so that's where I'm staying. But
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people like BMI. I've never had BMI, so I don't know what it is.
You
But
can't compare them. You should.
yeah, so I would highly recommend to get your publishing straight. You know, if you're new in the game, or even if you're old in the game and you don't have your publishing done right, you know,
Go back through your catalog and
yeah,
collect that,
yeah,
right?
register
You know?
every single song, man. You gotta, and now you got different companies like Sound Exchange
Yeah.
and man, a bunch of other people that collect royalties for you. You know,
Yeah.
and that's your forever money, bro. That's
Yeah.
like when I'm gone. That's money that checks that are still gonna be coming in for my family. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I needed to get that in order
Yeah.
because I was only getting maybe a quarter of what I'm gonna be getting in a few months. So,
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And then like I was gonna ask you a question. I lost my train of thought right now as you were talking. Something else popped in, but like when you were working out deals with labels, bro, right? Like, or the first one that you had, right? Like how did that feel to you, bro? Like, cause you were dealing yourself, right? Cause I would assume.
Yeah, me and my boy Hitman from the
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood. So for the first record, um, we made a good amount of money, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, so the original deal was I signed for one with two options. The two options just means that I signed for one with the possibility of doing two more albums.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Based
So,
on sales for the
right,
label, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's what we did. And then and afterwards, you know, I had a family when I was young. I had my first, my firstborn was when I was 18,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a family, bro. I had a house. I needed to pay, bills on,
Yeah.
and
Diapers are expensive and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, I had my
Yeah.
kid. I had my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to make sure that money was coming in
Mm-hmm.
constantly, So I was getting chunks, and
Hence the 25 albums and shit.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
bullshitting, but you know.
And then
You went on grind.
what I was doing, bro, I started to sell albums. I'd be like, oh, well, this will give me 80 racks for this album. Let me sell another one and sell it for a quick 50. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And that's what I was doing, dog. And a lot of these titles, I don't own the masters to them
Mm-hmm.
because I did that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know about my publishing
Yeah.
and all that. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know that when I was selling the masters to it, that these fools started collecting royalties and publishing
Forever.
because they were up on game and
Yeah.
they were in the game for a longer time than I was. But like I tell everybody, man, no regrets.
Yeah.
It was all a learning experience, and I'm glad to say that I did that.
Mhm.
I had a pound of the cold on my neck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I did that, all the dumb decisions, but all learning experiences.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And then that's the thing, right? A lot of people learn. Like right now, it's a little easier because you can go on YouTube,
Yeah.
right? Like not like back then, but now you go on YouTube and learn anything, basically, right?
Yeah.
The business and all that. Just a question: was Hitman? So there's a question right there. Lopez Videos. Was Hitman in the video with Night Owl? Oh, I don't want to read that. This one, this name. Yeah, never mind. Let's scratch that question. But yeah, dude. So it's a trip. So what do you have in the works now, bro? Like what? Like I see you that you're promoting this album that you just dropped, right? It's the Bring
Yeah.
It Back or something like that.
Yeah. So this album is basically Till I Die on steroids, dog.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I got the sound that I wanted to bring back. So the name of the album is I'm Done, Bring It Back. And the crazy part is that I didn't even know that I was going to record this album.
Mm-hmm.
This got brought to me through my manager. Shout out to my manager Gary out in Maui. He's the one that brought it up to me, like, hey, let's do an album. I was like, well, I haven't done one in a long time, so
Mm-hmm.
So we went ahead and did it, bro, and we just wanted it to be something big.
Yeah.
So we got the production from Dr. Evo, who produces for Snoop and Redman and a bunch of different people, you know what I'm saying? Big artists. And we got Amplified, who co-produces with Battle Cat and produces for Snoop and everybody else. And then I thought I'd give a little homie, a youngster coming up, my boy Chops, from Paris, California.
Mm-hmm.
He has one song on there called All Black Chucks. And the rest is half Amplified, half Dr. Evo. And then we swung for the fence and we like, you know what? What if we got Ice Cube on the song? And like, I asked Cocaine, my big bro Cocaine, I was like, bro, how hard would it be to get Cube on the song? He goes, hey man, I can ask,
Yeah, yeah.
So he got at him, dog, and he got in contact with Cube's people and the homie JD from the Lynch Mob. Shout out to both of my big bros, JD and Cocaine. If it wasn't for Cocaine, this song would have never happened.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I already had a song with Cocaine on my album.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to talk, and then he had Ice Cube on his album. And I was like, man, that'd be dope to get Cube on a song. So through him, I got in contact with JD, and then JD was the contact person for Cube at the time. And he still is. So he got at Cube, and Cube was like, oh, let me hear this dude, you know what I mean? So he made me record my song, my verse first, and Cocaine did the hook. So I think the combination of it, Cocaine being on the hook, and he was vibing to the beat that my boy Dr. Evo and Nocturne produced, um, and I sent my verse, and then JD got it. He's like, okay, he's fucking with you.
Oh, that's
So,
dope.
so
yeah,
then
yeah.
we just started doing the negotiations and everything, man, and I got a hit song on my album, bro.
Yeah,
with
that's
Q.
crazy,
So
man. And
that song's number 5 on the album. You know what I'm saying? And it's featuring the Cocaine and Ice Cube. The title of the album is "I'm Done, Bring It Back," because I'm just tired of listening to everything that's coming out and it's sounding the same.
yeah,
It doesn't sound like the original West Coast, music that
yeah.
we're used to. And again, it's not for everybody. All these new kids are gonna be like, oh no, we like the new stuff because I mean they're young and this is what they're growing up on.
Yeah, definitely.
The new stuff. But
The trending rap. You know?
but the
Yeah.
people, but there's some youngsters that still bump my music and they got brought to it by their uncles, maybe their grandparents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's I've met grandparents and like 4 generations in a family that all bump my songs.
Yeah.
And yeah, this album is crazy, bro. I got Be Real from Cypress Hill. Shout out to the homie Be Real. He blessed me on the album. And yeah, man, everything just came together so good, dog. And I put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of sweat and tears into this album, dog. And it's a good album.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And then like and not to put you on the spot or anything, but like getting Ice Cube, a verse from Ice Cube at your level still right now, right? Well, how was that feeling for you, bro? Like for him to be like, not only because of the business side, he actually fucked with your music in order to get it, right? You get me?
Yeah, it's still surreal.
Right, yeah.
It's still surreal because I mean we're talking about NWA, we're talking about Friday the movie, we're talking about the big 3 in basketball. I mean, so many accolades that this man has, bro, that he didn't have to take the time to even listen to me or to even entertain the offer, you know what I mean? So for him to go out of his way, on one of his days and take the time to go in the studio and drop a verse for me, mention me in the song, and you know what I mean? It was just crazy. It's not a recycled verse that I bought from somebody, some producer that had it in his computer for 20 years and he decided to sell it to somebody.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, dude. I just learned something today, man.
It is, bro. It is. And he never actually did a song directly with an artist like he did with me, you know what I'm saying? So it's, to me, it's something big. It's something big.
Shout out to Ice Cube, man, for working with our people too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, dude.
He definitely, blessed the album
and it's crazy because how you say you're with the West Coast original sound. You went with like an original West Coaster as well too, right? Like,
absolutely.
He's tried different things, but his sound has stayed like timeless, bro. Like to me,
Oh yeah,
right?
and Be Real too. Be Real. I mean,
yeah, definitely.
We didn't listen to the Dr. Green Thumbs and the album before that and their first album.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. It's crazy to know that, these people fuck with me.
Yeah, definitely, bro. And then like at your age, again, I don't want to bring that up, right? But like at your level of your career, everything you've done and all that, and to still be doing like something that is like topping it, right? In a way, it's like that's exciting, bro, right? Because it's like you're still making good moves. Your music's still gonna be timeless, and people are still playing it for a long time,
And so to me, every day I wake up is a blessing, right? So, I mean, surviving 2 strokes wasn't easy either, because the first one took me out for, I mean, a long time, bro. There's been a lot of obstacles that I had to deal with,
And there's no evidence too that you had a stroke, bro. That's dope,
And if I wouldn't have told you, you probably would have never known.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a blessing that, God restored me and brought me back to this. Because I couldn't say P's or B's. I had paralysis on my face and my mouth was drooping and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, again, to wake up every day is a blessing, but then to be able to still record an album of this magnitude with the people that are on it, and the team that I have around me, it feels good. I mean, I can't even put it into words.
Yeah. That's a trip, man, Yeah. And I appreciate you making time for our channel, bro. We're a small platform. We grind every day and we're still trying to come up and stuff. But when you said, I was like, man, he's gonna make some excuse and not pull up,
Nah,
and
man.
I was like, oh, that's dope, man.
If I give you my word, bro, it's happening.
And it's a trip because I grew up like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like I grew up like if you tell somebody something, it's like that, right? or you hit them up with like, hey, bro, I'm sorry to say, but this, you know.
Yeah.
And I notice a lot with the youth now, bro. You know, like I still consider myself young, but you know, younger people than me and shit. You know, younger people than us, right? It's not the same.
Nah.
You get me? Like people say shit now, and my bad, I cuss a lot, dude.
No,
I'm still working on that, you know. But
so here's the thing. So, and the thing about the now, you know, the generation, bro. It's not even about talent anymore. It's about popularity.
Yeah.
You know, you could be doing some dumb stuff, and people think you're funny or cool.
Yeah.
You know, you might not even have talent, but they think you're dope.
Yeah.
Because you're out there acting a fool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's funny that you say that. My bad. I didn't mean to cut
you're
you off.
good. You're good.
Because I was just talking to this young artist that I'm working with. Shout out Baby Joint, man. You know, he also told me I'm trying to make classics, bro. Like I don't want to just make a song, you know. And he doesn't want to do. He wants to do like dancing music, not dancing music, but like party music.
Okay.
Right, like not really like the gangster stuff and all that, right? You know.
Yeah.
And he was naming some artists that, and I was just like, oh, but like. And I'm not gonna name their names, but I was just like, yeah, that fool's famous for being a clown though. Like, I don't think I've heard one song of that dude. You get me? Or like, then they named this other dude, and I'm like, same thing. Like, I don't think I've ever heard his music, but I seen them on YouTube like every day, you know? And they're famous, you know, and it's dope, you know? But
yeah, there's a lot of that, man. But there's also a lot of talent that goes overlooked.
Definitely.
For the same reason.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's a blessing to have this longevity and have people that rock with me for 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and it just proves that what I'm doing, you know, people feel it.
Yeah.
It might not be for the new generation or some of the other people, bro, but there's definitely people around the world that
feel
it. That we're expecting this, we're waiting for this record, bro. And that's the reason why it took a long time to record it. I took time off. I didn't even tour during last year while I was recording the record because I wanted to focus and give it my all.
Yeah.
I didn't want to get distracted, you know. And yeah, man. So and that's another reason why we're releasing it through CDs first. A lot of people, oh, we don't have a CD player. Oh, it might not be for you. It might be for the collectors that have a binder full of all my records. I know. So we're doing CDs and we're gonna get the vinyl next week. And I don't even know when digital is gonna be out, but you know, I gotta cater to the people that support me. My real supporters, bro. That made me who I am. You know what I mean? Because and I don't get tired of saying this. Without them, I wouldn't be who I am, bro. Like without people bumping my music around the world and buying and supporting what I do, pulling up to shows and buying merch and all that. I mean,
you'd just be another rapper for the homies.
I'd just be another rapper. I wouldn't be an artist.
Yeah, an artist.
Big
there you
difference.
go. Yeah.
And then people get mad when I say that. That there's a difference between a rapper and an artist. There's producers and there's beat makers. You know, there's big differences in that, bro. You know, so and I just keep it true, bro. I mean, that's the way I look at things. You know, like if you're an artist, like you commit yourself 1,000% and you give top quality music and you're around the world traveling, you know what I'm saying? Not just in the States, you're everywhere, you know? Rappers don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, so, and again, producers, beat makers just, you know what I'm saying? But a producer who's a producer and an engineer dissects the music, bro, and makes they pay attention to detail and they compose and they write music. You know what I mean? It's a big difference than cutting and pasting.
They're making the samples.
They're making
that people
everything.
The beat makers are using to make their beat.
Sounds.
Yeah, here you go.
You understand what I'm saying? It's a big difference, bro. Like my bro Wise, he's a magician, bro. He's an actual producer, engineer, you know, and Steve Vicious, he's a producer and engineer. Dr. Evo, he's a producer, you know.
Yeah, I see Dr. Evo in the chat too, man. Shout out to Dr.
Shout
Evo,
out my
man.
bro
you know?
Evo, man. Yeah.
My bad, the light's blocking you. I usually
it
put
is. I
this so
can't
you can
see
see
nobody,
the chat
so
right there,
my
man.
bad
You
if
know?
I don't respond to some of this stuff, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. And you know, like my boy Chops, he's a producer. He's an up and coming producer, but he's a producer. He's not a beat maker, you know. And I appreciate that when people, just like I take the time to write songs and I make sure that it sounds good to me. I like it when a producer takes time and makes catered music to me.
Yeah.
Because they hear something and they're like, you know what, this will sound dope
with his vocals.
Yeah, with my vocals over it. So
And I was gonna say that because I was gonna be like, for a producer, that's an engineer. That's one thing that I like is when, because I've seen different people working, right? You know, not at your level, obviously, dude, but you know, like, and one of the things I always see is like I see the people that are trying to make a quick buck, and I see the people that care because you can kind of see like, hey, how's that sound? Nah, it's not too good. Hey, get back in there and try this, or like, hey, you know what? Let me drop the beat right here for you, or something. You know?
Yeah, and again,
like,
and that's a producer.
Yeah.
Like that, he pays attention to what you said,
Yeah.
beat drop, and just a snare and a drum, or just a snare, or just sound effects and all that, bro. Like I can say it takes a lot to do that, bro. And for somebody to take the time and cater to you music, and make good quality music, bro. I appreciate that, man, and I gotta give them their flowers to all producers, people that I don't know that are out there. I mean, it's a craft, it's an art,
Yeah.
and when people take the time to feel good about what they produce and put out, you gotta give them their flowers, bro.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's people that sell beats for $50.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for production, it's because it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And they have history with making platinum records or producing for big artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just,
There's
again,
levels to it.
there
Yeah,
is, and
yeah,
I don't think I'm better than anybody. I don't think I'm more than anybody. I just do me.
Mm-hmm.
And some people might not like it. Some people might be like, "Oh, you'll never be like this guy." I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm comfortable being me.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because I've got messages sometimes on some of my posts or something like, "Oh, you'll never be like so and so. You'll never." No. That's cool. I don't want to be like so and so.
I'm shadow.
I'm
shit,
shadow.
You know?
What I'm saying? And just you might not like me, but there's 1,000 other people that do.
And, that's a trip, bro, because I have a partner that we run the West Factory with, right? And he's different from, we're opposites, and the homie's always like, we got to move fast. We got to do this. Look how they're doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, once you start competing against somebody, you already lost. You gotta be in your own lane and move at your own pace.
The only competition is in the mirror, and that's me.
Mm-hmm.
I compete with myself. I try to better myself. I always try to evolve and sound the same but sound different.
Yeah.
I want to give them Shadow 1,000%, but I also want to show that I've grown and I found a new way to deliver new music to them. They always tell me, "Oh, your Till I Die Shadow was better than the new stuff." I'm like,
I try.
Yeah, I try. But there's people that have grown with me.
Yeah.
That appreciate the new Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the old me, but in a new way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
it's confusing, but I know what you're trying to say, man.
Yeah, man,
definitely, dude, because you are evolving as an artist yourself, right? You're like, you're gonna try new things. You're gonna try new producers. You're gonna try whatever you think is like, hell yeah, I mess with this, right?
Yeah, I just want to make music that makes me feel good delivering it.
Yeah.
Because I know what some of my people are wanting from me. Like, I get flooded with messages, you know what I mean? They tell me, "Oh, this is one of my favorite songs, from you," and this and that. And it's cool that people appreciate, the stuff that I've put out.
Yeah. And shout out to Little One, man. I see he's on the chat too.
Oh yeah, man. Shout out to my bro Uno.
Yeah, Lintonero, appreciate that. Baby Blue Dramatic, that's somebody new on here too, man. So make sure you guys subscribe. If you ain't subscribed, man, we got Shadow in the building today. SD OG out here, man. Definitely. Lisa said being original makes you stand out. That's for sure, man. And then so like to lead to this question, bro. Like, what new artists do you see right now that you I mean, because I know you told me you don't bump rap, but I'm sure you hear through the grapevine or whatnot,
or
right?
they'll pop up on my feed or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you don't got to say who sucks, but maybe who's one that stands out,
Yeah.
I know everybody's like, nah, ask him who sucks.
I don't know the exact names, but I know there's some homies from like Central Cali, like from Tulare, I believe.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know
there's some cats from LA. I mean, the homie drummer and King Little G always do good music.
Yeah, that's a dope collab that they put together, them two, man.
Yeah, man. They vibe off each other, bro, and it's dope. And I love to see young cats getting it, bro, like
Yeah.
getting paid and in their own lane. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because G created his own lane.
Yeah.
Salute to that because nowadays everybody wants to ride that wave. They all want to do what that dude's doing,
Yeah.
which is to me that's corny.
Mm-hmm.
Be yourself, be authentic. You know what I'm saying? Find
Yeah.
something that if you like that, find a twist to it or reinvent it or something. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I've always stayed authentic and original to what people are used to from me.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people ride waves, bro, and they roll with the trends, and that's something that I've always told myself like I can't do that,
Yeah.
because I think the people that really mess with my music, bro, I think that they wouldn't appreciate that. That's
Yeah.
like that ain't you. You know why stuff always been G funk or West Coast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's me. So if somebody doesn't like it,
You're gonna do that on your own spin,
exactly.
like to continue evolving and stuff like that.
Yeah, bro. I'm
Yeah.
gonna learn how to reinvent it. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm not gonna. And a big reason why I don't listen to rap is because I don't want something from somebody else's song, bro, to stick in my head. And next time I'm in the studio, it comes through and I try to do it or something. I would hate myself for that.
Yeah.
So I just rather not. So I'll listen to, like I said, I listen to worship music, I listen to reggae, I listen to corridos, and I listen to everything else, and some people be like, oh, that's messed up. You don't listen to rap. Well, I make rap. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like listening to my own stuff, bro. Seriously, bro.
Yeah.
It rubs me a certain way where I walk into somewhere and somebody's bumping, I'll be like, turn that off, bro. Like,
Yeah.
And
Everybody's like, nah, it's Mr. Shadow in here.
yeah,
right?
sometimes some of the family, they'll be like, they'll we'll be at a party and they'll go up there and tell the DJ, hey, play this song, and I'll be like, oh, come on, really? But yeah, man. I mean,
it's dope though, right? But I get what you're saying, because I mean, I don't live to that because I don't make music, but like you heard it through the process of creating it,
yeah,
through the process
scratch.
of recording it, through right?
Yeah, from scratch, bro.
Yeah.
It's like a chef that makes pasta from scratch.
Yeah.
He's ate so much of it that he doesn't want to eat it no more.
Yeah.
Everybody else can enjoy it.
Do you know where the term from scratch comes from?
I don't.
They used to scratch recipes on a board. So that's why they would say, "Oh, I made it from scratch," because they would read it from the where they scratched it back then.
Hey,
and shit.
you learn something new every
My
day.
bad. Useless facts, but I'm full of them and shit.
Yeah, I love them, bro. I love
Yeah,
learning.
yeah.
So that's cool. I never knew that. I'm gonna tell my kids that.
Yeah. Baby Blue Dramatic said, "Been bumping Mr. Shadow since the beginning. Send mine Shadow another Cali weekend." That's right.
That's from the Expect the Unexpected album. Much love, man. Salute to you, bro.
Yeah. Oh, my wife's clowning with the fun facts. Yeah, I always, I don't know. I like to share things, bro, all the time. You give me like,
Yeah, I love truth, bro, and I
yeah.
love stories that are like that you can Google and find out that they're facts. I love them, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who likes lies? You know what I mean?
And so like you listen to worship music, right?
I
Like,
do.
how did you get into worship music, bro?
On my walk with God, bro.
Mhm.
In my household, and my bro will tell you, you wake up and go to sleep to worship music. My wife and my daughter, that's all they listen to. My daughter just got baptized like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, congrats.
I'm on my second year
Mhm.
of being baptized.
Oh, that's what's up.
So I mean, there's still areas, of course, that I have to work on. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it's worship music, and I might listen to a song here and there, reggae music. But a lot of the songs that are reggae related are talking about God and Mount Zion, and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean. So
And peace and stuff, right?
Yeah. So that's it.
Who's your favorite worship artist?
Oh man, I would have to say Elevation Worship has a lot of good songs, and
Mm-hmm.
I have them a lot on my playlist.
Mm-hmm.
So Elevation Worship, and there's we just went to see this concert in Temecula. I hope I don't massacre their name, but I
Mhm.
think it's the IBC or something. They're a college,
Oh, all right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But they
yeah.
came and performed at a church in Temecula. I went, and these shows, bro, they're popping, bro. Like,
Yeah,
it's
no.
crazy. Like if
Yeah,
you've never
yeah.
been to one, we went to Elevation Worship at that big arena right there in Santa Ana by the Angel Stadium. Which one is that? Is that the Toyota arena?
I don't know. And shit.
Or- It's one of those big ones, 12,000 strong.
The
bro.
Angel
So-
Stadium, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
next to it.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
It was 12,000 people, bro, and,
Yeah.
and it, I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, my wife likes to go to Harvest Fest and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right there in the Angel
It
Stadium.
just happened, right?
Yeah, this just happened or it's coming up, no? Yeah.
Okay, then I saw the one that passed.
And she be rocking to the music. Like when I go in her car, she's bumping the worship music
Yeah, bro.
and shit,
It's,
man.
you know,
you know?
it's a whole different vibe, bro.
It is, yeah.
You know, and you just have to experience it.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't been to the Harvest Fest. She's been trying to take me and stuff, but she's like, they turn people away because the stadium gets sold out, bro.
Yeah.
And it's free. So, I mean,
Right.
basically it gets so full, they have to turn people away. People are outside trying to listen
Yeah.
from outside. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, man, that's dope, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely. But what advice would you give to any artist right now, bro, that maybe, you know, like I see a lot of young artists that come through this podcast, bro. They probably just getting started, not even an album out. They do singles or something, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have the means to get by or like make music how they would want to. Like, what's something you would give them? Like, maybe they're just picking up the pen today, bro, and write a rap, you know?
And I say this in every podcast, bro, and I tell them to be original, be authentic, be themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to be like that dude you see on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube. Just be yourself. People appreciate when you're yourself, you know. And don't write a song about a movie or a book or something crazy. You know, everything that I've ever written or recorded is things I've done, things I'm doing, things I'm gonna do.
Mm.
You know, I've never sat there and told a story that didn't relate to me.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
just
Be original.
be original,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Be original. You know, just like I talked to my bro about music, and I'm so amazed that there's only 7 notes in music. But look at the vast diversity of music around the world
Yeah.
that is created off of 7 notes.
I didn't know that either. So that's crazy, right? Yeah.
7 notes, bro.
Mhm.
But you have, I mean, every single genre you could think of, bro, and it's all created out of those 7 notes.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so just keep that in mind. You know, you could be one of those notes, but be played different.
Yeah, so
That's it.
it's insane how you say it because just to think of the amount of music that's out there and how different it
corridos,
sounds,
banda,
right? Yeah,
worship music,
Yeah.
rap. I mean, bachata, everything, bro, is created out of those 7 notes.
My wife got me into country music too.
Hey,
so
country music is
I be
dope.
vibing to it, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's dope.
definitely.
I mean, there's some that I can't stand when they start talking about tractors and
Oh,
you know.
yeah. I
I'm
like
like
this
John
song.
Deere, you know?
Yeah, I could buy me a boat. I don't know if you heard it. That
Yeah.
one's dope, you know?
Yeah, when they tell a story, bro, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, or they talk about their kids, and those are cool.
Yeah,
because you can relate to them.
yeah,
I
definitely.
can't relate to riding on a John Deere. You know.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, a lot of the country music that you hear is like, how do you say? It's almost like rap stories when you think about it. Like they're talking about some of these guys talk about I want to be a baller,
Yeah.
right, in their own aspect of it and stuff,
Yeah.
or like taking girls on cheap dates and stuff. You know, like I heard this one song like I forgot who sings it, but it's called Fancy. Like I take my girl to Chili's on payday. You get me? He's rapping about how they share the food.
And again,
I
that's
dig it,
somebody's
bro.
story.
Yeah, you know, and I dig
That's
it.
what he does.
Yeah.
you know? So that's like, again, being original.
Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Shout out to Gangsta Wish, man. Gangsta Wish on the chat. You know, the homie got deported, part of this whole little thing that's going on, man. So shout out to my boy out there in Mexico, man. Can you take a screenshot of what he said on the chat, Patty, please, when you get a chance? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I missed the comment because it went up on the TV and shit. Shout out Hooster23, man. He's out of
Oh,
Wilmington.
my bro Evil just corrected me. I could see that one, Evil. Thank you. So it's 12 notes.
Oh, 12 notes.
12 notes. Yeah. So it's 12 notes. Good looking now, dog. I look like an ass for a little bit, but it's 12 notes. Still, it's only 12. So
Yeah, that's still only 12, man.
yeah,
You know?
so you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
to flip 12 notes and make all the variety of music that there's out there, it's still amazing.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
know? So yeah.
Hey, and so what's next for Mr. Shadow right now, bro? 46 years old, just dropped a brand new album and shit, man, you know? And CD only right now. So if you want to get it, you got to
Yeah.
get on the website and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
so yeah, MrShadow.com. For those who don't know it, you can hit the pre-order button and get your CD we got vinyl coming in, I believe in a few days, and then we're gonna do that run, and digital is gonna be out. I don't know when. I believe once all my stuff is in order, it'll be digitally available. But for now, it's only CDs. And if you don't have a CD player, if you have a PS One,
The
I
Xbox,
think
the Xbox will
PS,
play it and stuff. Yeah.
they'll play it. So
They all have media players and shit. So you up with the times, man? You know?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm on PS5, bro. I'm on.
What do you play?
Black Ops.
Oh, that's what's up. I play Apex
Yeah.
Legends. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you could only get the CD and vinyl. And again, we've started shipping them already. And shout out to my cousin Finnis, man. He's a big help. Him and his wife, his girl Laura. They're a big part of all these records getting to all these people. And he's also featured on my album.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Just
Any movies coming soon? Any little documentaries?
that's in the
I
works.
only ask because I see Wise right here.
Yeah, and that's
you know?
definitely something that he's getting ready to do.
And shout out to Wise, man. You know,
Yeah.
he's over here quiet and stuff, man. You know,
So,
but
Wise Guy, for those who know the All About Me album, he produced every single song on that album. And again, if that album didn't get the shine it deserved, but it was because that got released literally from my hospital bed
oh man,
when I had my first stroke. So that album, we're talking about re-releasing it because a lot of people haven't heard it. A lot of people haven't heard it, bro, and that's one of my best records.
because if you don't, it's hard if you don't promote it on social media,
Yeah.
right? It's like hard for people to find
And
out
it's
about
crazy
it.
because we only pressed up so many units, and then it got leaked on YouTube, and a lot of people don't know about it.
Oh man,
So I think that it deserves to be on the spotlight because that album is bananas, bro. Like the
Yeah.
production in it, like I was talking about, from the sound effects to the sound, the beats, it was crazy. It was crazy, and it's crazy how there's a story behind it, bro. That I think just the fact that it was released while I was on my hospital bed and I had my laptop and my bro would come through and be like, "Yo, this is the cover, and what do you think?" And that's how we did it, and it's a special album, bro. And
yeah, that's dope. That's dope that you were able to still keep the wheels
Yeah.
moving, bro. You know, like
Yeah.
definitely.
So definitely, I'm gonna talk to my manager and want to release that record because I think a lot of people will appreciate because the song sounds like it got recorded yesterday. The music,
Still relevant. And
the
shit.
music
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it's old to me and him
Mhm.
and whoever else heard it, but for the people that haven't, it's new music.
Mhm.
So
You know what I
definitely-
learned about music too? Like to some people, even the first song you drop could be new, right?
It's
you get
timeless,
me?
bro.
Yeah,
It's timeless,
Mhm.
and that's the beauty about music.
yeah,
It's new to whoever hears it today.
yeah.
If they haven't heard it. So yeah, definitely gonna keep pushing this record. I have to maximize everything about it.
Yeah.
Videos are coming, a tour's coming. And yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing. After this English album, I have a Spanish album that's gonna be right behind it.
Oh, nice.
So there's videos for that. And,
Yeah, the song I heard that you rapped in Spanish, bro. Like a few of them, they're fire, bro. You
Thank
know?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I try to do the same thing I do in English. I try to do it in Spanish.
Oh, all right. Like the one I used for the promo on this one. Like when I heard, I was like, damn, this shit is banging and
Yeah.
shit, man. You know?
Yeah, Mexico got a lot of love for me, man. Shout out to
Mhm.
everybody.
Because you're fluent, huh? In Spanish, then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
yeah.
wouldn't try to rap it if I
Yeah.
wasn't. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I try
so-
not to even speak it. You know, it's funny. My mom told me a long time ago, your Spanish is not good, and I try. I can speak, I can communicate, and all that. And your English is terrible, so please stick to one and just learn it. You know, that's when I was young and stuff. You know.
Yeah. My
Yeah,
house
yeah.
definitely growing up was all Spanish. My mom and
Mhm.
dad,
Mhm.
and I had to keep it real, bro, and give my people in Mexico something that they could bump.
Yeah.
And thanks to God that since my first album, bro, they mess with it tough, bro. Like when I
Yeah.
go over there, like I was just the last show I did over there was last year in November in Teotihuacan, in Mexico City at the pyramids.
Yeah, that's dope.
And
I've been there
there
too,
was
man.
6,000 people. There was a stage right there.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like on that, they call it the Corrido de los Muertos or something and stuff,
exactly.
right?
Where
Yeah,
they found
yeah.
the new caves.
Yeah, yeah.
Right there, bro.
Damn.
And the stage was like one of the big fests here, bro. And there was like 6,000 people, and it was crazy. It was
Damn, that's
dope,
dope.
super
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
And same thing in Guadalajara and everywhere else that we've done shows, man. It's always been love, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Did you climb the Sun Pyramid?
I did when you were able to, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I climbed it too. 365 steps, they say, right? Yeah.
But they're like this,
Yeah,
bro.
it's crazy. They're steep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see the moon pyramid. Like,
Yeah,
at a
across
distance.
from it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I got up there. I had to sit for a minute, you know, because
yeah,
it's
me
dope.
me
you
and
know?
my wife did it. It took us a while.
Yeah, definitely.
It took us a while because,
Yeah.
like I said, those steps, the coming down, I think is harder than going up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because there's like
You
won't-
can fall
you'll
over,
roll
yeah,
off that.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it was dope though. It was dope to be able to do that because now you can't.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know they had stopped that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they stopped it. At least last time I was there, that you couldn't climb it.
I used to hear that the Aztecs that were there, or the natives that were there, they used to run up from the side of the steps, not even on the steps, and so
Yeah.
that the steps were ritual purposes and
Right.
stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
no,
trip, man.
it's-
Yeah.
it's a dope
I
spot.
love Mexico City, man.
Oh yeah.
You get me? It's like it's crazy how you could be in 2 time zones at once and shit there. You know,
Yeah.
like they got like, you know where the palace is, and then right
Yeah.
next to it they have that thing that they found too right there. I forgot what king lived right there as
Oh,
well
dude,
too.
I've been
man,
to
you know?
neighborhoods where they have pyramids in the middle of the neighborhood.
Isn't that crazy, right?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like there'll be an apartment complex, and then off in the corner there'll be a pyramid, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
they're always finding something new because
Yeah.
I mean the Spaniards just buried our history basically right there,
Exactly.
man. You know, it's
Exactly.
crazy.
yeah.
But yeah, man, you know, so the new album, I saw you did some autograph copies as well too, right? Is
Yeah,
that
so-
out
so-
already or like?
So everybody who pre-orders the album off my website gets an autographed copy of the CD and then an 8x11 also autographed. And
Mhm.
since we get the orders and they print them out, I can see the name and I put the name, I dedicate it to them.
Oh, that's
and I
fire,
sign
man.
it, so
yeah.
It's just a little token of appreciation, bro. That's the least I can do, you know.
Mhm.
So me and my bro lock up in the studio and you know, I'm signing them and he's sending them off to the side. And yeah, man, it's and orders keep coming in and thank for everybody who's been ordering. There's people that ordered 2 copies. There's people that are waiting for vinyl.
Mhm.
And again, you know, if you haven't, the website's mrshadow.com, mrshado.com. And there's a pre-order link there. I know there's a time window where it's not gonna be available through the pre-order no more. But if you want to bump it before everybody else does on digital, go on there, order your copy. When it comes in, I'm gonna sign it, and it'll be shipped out that same day or the next one.
Oh, that's what's up. You know, I'm gonna buy one so I can have it right here and shit, dude. You know?
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
We're looking at.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, any shout outs you want to give to folks out here? You know, I think we've been at it for an hour. I try and keep them for like an hour and shit, you know, because I
Yeah,
don't want to.
no, it's all
know?
good, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to you and your crew, man, for you know bringing me out. For Boss Lady for connecting us.
Yeah, definitely, man. You know, yeah.
Shout out to my bro Wise for taking that drive with me. Definitely my whole my people behind me. You know, my manager Gary. That man. Without him, none of this would have been possible, bro. So
That's dope.
I gotta give him his flowers and send mines. You know, my cousin Finis, my bro Uno, his kids, his family, my kids, my family, all my supporters. Thank you. I love each and every one of you, man. Like I said, I wouldn't be me without you guys. And you know, I'm just gonna keep rocking for you guys, man, till I can't no more. And you know, be ready. I'll be in a city near you. So
We actually about to talk a little business, see what we can put together,
Hey,
man.
hey,
You
there
know?
we- there we go.
Definitely.
So definitely want to get some shows in this year because next year once the tour starts,
It's
um,
exclusive.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty exclusive, and you can buy merch there. You can buy merch on the website. You know, there's hoodies, there's sweaters, there's t-shirts, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, go on there. Make sure you subscribe so you guys can get all the latest info on me, tour dates, tours, you know, cities. And again, shout out to everybody out there doing their thing. I like to see people that are in my generation of music and the new guys, you know, all the new cats, you know, do your thing, man. You know, God bless everybody. I love you guys. And
Yeah, man. You guys kicked a lot of doors open for folks like us, bro.
You know, there's a lot of people.
You know?
It's good you said that, bro, because there's a lot of people that claim that they kicked the doors in and this and that. But I've been out 20 years before you. You know what I mean? So, and again, I don't think I'm bigger or better than anybody, bro.
Yeah.
But the 30 years that I've been in the game, there's been good and bad, and there's been ups and downs, and it's been work. It's been work, and you know, like my bro Uno, you know, same thing, man. We've all had our struggles. We've all fought our demons.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. But I can say that we all make good money off it, bro. You know, and
because you live off your music, right?
I am.
You're not like a.
I'm not working
like a 9 to 5 person and shit, no? Yeah.
Nah, I'm doing my music, bro, and I've been blessed. Like I said, ever since my boy Gary, man, he's been making things happen for me, dog, and I appreciate him so much, more than he knows. And I hope one day I can prove it to him, you know, when I buy him a mansion or something.
Yeah, that's
you know?
what's up, man. You know.
But yeah, man, there's so many people that, you know, I want to send a shout out to, but there's so many that I don't want to forget somebody. So
yeah, because
shout out if you rock with me on a personal level, you know who you are. If you have my direct contact, you already know who you are. So, you know, all my love to everybody that I know, my circle. You know, my circle ain't big, bro. My circle's one hand.
Yeah.
So, and I like that because I can fully trust the people in that circle. You know, so
that's like loyalty, bro. It's a dying trait, man.
You know, that's what makes family. Blood doesn't make family.
It doesn't, man.
Loyalty does.
Yeah. I've had family members that done me done. I mean, everybody probably does in
exactly.
life, bro.
I have a brother I don't even talk to, bro. That
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It be like that sometimes, man. You know? Yeah, I feel that.
So yeah, more than anything, man, I just, you know, I hope everybody's, you know, blessed. Everybody's doing as good as they can. And
I do have one question though, and shit. You were going on TikTok. You say you just started TikTok. So your platforms, you manage them yourself. So when
no, my manager has my login.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man. Shout out to my boy Ocho. Ocho has my login because they help me with these things. I don't know nothing about TikTok, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I have like 4 pictures that I posted or something.
Yeah.
Because I barely figured out how to do that. But I don't even post every day, and I know I have to, and I should be posting on Instagram. But that's just not me. That's not how I get down. But I know I have to do it for the business side of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm on TikTok now. It's
yeah, there are platforms, bro. You know.
Yeah, it's what is it? What's my TikTok? Mr. Shadow 619, but you got to spell out the Mr. So Mister Shadow 619.
Yeah.
You know, and
you know what's a trip though? Like before I joined the West Factory, bro, I didn't have any social medias and shit.
Yeah.
You know, and you being an artist, you already know how time consuming it could be, right? Like running a business through social media is not just like I tell everybody, this is the easy part right here, chopping it up, right? You know?
Yeah.
Or like making the music for you is the easy part, right?
Yeah.
But like, I don't want to say like easy like that, but like getting it out and promoting it and all that is really time consuming and stuff, right?
And especially since I haven't released something in a long time. I think the last thing I released was my Spanish album that I just released. My social media started in 2015. When everybody jumped on it in the early 2000s, I didn't have it, bro. I barely jumped on the wagon in 2015.
Oh, wow.
So I don't have the followers that they have because I was late. But it's slowly but surely, you know.
Yeah, because yours should be in the millions for sure, bro. Yeah.
At least in the high hundreds.
Yeah.
You know, just like, you know, the other people. But it's cool though, man. You know, I'm blessed to have, I think it's 106,000 or something.
Yeah.
On Instagram, and you know, my TikTok is growing, and it's cool. I'll learn how to use it eventually, but again, you know, shout out to everybody who rocks with me. Shout out to my wife. Shout out to my daughter Catalea at home, my daughter Gigi, my son Gio, you know, Jasmine, Michael, Cynthia, Davina, Jaden. You know, if I forgot you, my bad.
You know who you are.
I didn't mean to. It's not intentional. But yeah, man, just, you know, again, if you haven't got your copy, pre-order it, MrShadow.com.
Yeah. And hopefully we can get you back here after your tour, man. You know, see how that went, give some updates or something.
Yeah, whenever you want me back,
know?
bro, I'm just hit me up, bro.
Yeah, appreciate
I'll
that.
give you my direct contact after this, and and just reach out, and then hopefully we can lock in some shows.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You're gonna have to add another hand for the circle,
Yeah,
bro.
I,
You get
have,
me?
I got another one, bro. So let's fill it up.
Yeah, my bad. I'm always clowning, bro. That's how I
Nah,
am,
that's
man. You
cool.
get me?
That's cool,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
to be serious and you know what I mean. Like me and my bro always gigging, and you know what I mean.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
always laughing, and on the way over here, we just
Yeah.
laugh, bro. We laugh, and and that's the spirit that I want people to feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't think I'm battered. I don't think I'm.
Yeah. Nah, and you're blessed, bro. I mean, to come from the streets, to be alive at 46 and
Yeah.
successful, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
just being alive, homie, is like, you know?
Thinking,
Yeah, yeah.
going back to thinking that I wasn't gonna make it past 21,
Exactly. Yeah.
and me being here at 46.
2 strokes. You know?
2 strokes later.
dude,
I
you
mean,
know?
what more can I ask for?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
for
saying?
real,
So,
man, you know?
so here we are. And,
Good
and-
family, right? You know, and everybody's walking a good path and shit, bro. I mean, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know if I gave my boys shout outs, but Evo, Nocturne, Amplified, Chops. Man,
That's what's up,
again,
man.
just like Gary, this album wouldn't be what it is without you guys. And yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. But I appreciate everybody that tapped in.
Yeah.
Mr. Shadow, I appreciate you making time and coming over here, blessing our
Oh, thank you
platform,
for
bro.
having
You get me?
bro. Thank you for having me.
Everybody out there that's new, make sure you I almost punched myself with the mic, man. Yeah. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you drop a like, drop a comment after the video post and stuff. And we got our merch at the www.thewestfactoryshop.com. You can cop all that gear right there. We got our Salem, Oregon show kicking off next Friday. Just gave away some free tickets for that. Make sure we got the deal going on till Sunday. Monday, they're going back up. And at the door, obviously, you're paying door prices and shit, man, you know? But yeah, Young Dopey in Salem, Oregon, man. Stay tuned. We got we're going to cook up probably with Mr. Shadow one day, man. So appreciate everybody that tapped in, that's tapping in.
And shout out to Dopey, man.
Oh, yeah, shout out to Dopey, man.
Yeah,
he's grinding right now, too, man,
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. He wanted to pull up. He told me the other day, he's like, I'm going to try and pull up, but he's always like doing
Yeah,
something.
he's on the move. He's moving and grooving, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? He's a solid one. And
You guys had a song together, too, no?
it was a song we were featured on.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
King Little G, no?
Yeah, King Little G, and
That's a gangster function, I think, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I
that's
believe
dope,
that's what
bro.
it's called.
That's just
yeah.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, it got turned into something else, but the that was the song. And
Mhm.
but yeah, man, shout out to everybody who rocks with your boy, man.
Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all stay tapped in, man. Tomorrow we got Sicko Beats, 6 p.m. on a Saturday, man. So make sure you tune into that. Have a good night, everybody.
Yes, sir. God bless.